What's up, Dave?
What's up, John?
Wake the fuck up. That's what this episode's all about. Wake up. A lot of people had comments about our podcast last week. We're a little sleepy. I gotta say, we've fallen into a little bit of a pattern where we're just doing recaps, transactions, previews. But I gotta put it on the rest of the league and say, why don't you guys give us something to talk about? I feel like the league is a little sleepy right now, and that's why we decided to name this episode Wake the Fuck Up. What do you think, John? Do you have anything to add? How are you feeling?
I feel like putting in minimal effort.
You seem a little sleepy. You've fallen. You're guilty by association. Is that what's going on here?
Yes.
Come on. Tell us how you feel. Earlier today, you and I had a phone conversation. You had a lot to say. I'd like to hear some of your opinions on what's frustrating you right now in the league.
Nobody aside from Mr. Blueprint is engaged right now. It seems.
I disagree. I think half the league's engaged and half the league is asleep. And their buttholes are puckered right now. And they're unwilling. We have someone at the table, I think, that falls into that category. Dave, how do you feel?
Dude, I feel great. I had a... I'm about the, I feel good. I feel like I did what I have to do to win my this week, Biz, and I woke up this morning in a pretty good mood.
I'm sure you did. Because even your team is sleepwalking to 3-3.
Uh-oh.
Don't look now, but there's teams.
There's a lot of injuries, Biz.
Yeah. And, but just before we came live, John said to me, he goes, yo, Biz, he's like, if you're going to cast more injuries, my team's had enough. And I told him, I said, when I cast the spell, this includes my team as well. But when I cast the spell, that's part of it, it stretches beyond my control. Once I put it out there. Now, what's interesting is there were a couple names that I highlighted last week that did fall victim to the injury spell. Christian McCaffrey, for one. Now, there's still possibility he plays this week, but he plays on Monday night. So it's tough for the owner, who is RJ, to wait until Monday. At least RJ has guys on reserve, right?
Yeah, he's got Elijah Mitchell?
Nope.
I do. I have Elijah Mitchell.
Well, he's got Jordan Mason, though, right?
Nope. Carl does.
You got him too, Dave?
Carl does.
No.
Yeah.
Carl does, John.
But he's got Gus Johnson and Aaron Jones coming back from bye, practicing full. Aaron Jones should be good to go. Now, talking about Gus Johnson.
Gus Edwards?
Excuse me, Gus Edwards. Thank you. I don't know why I
Fuck
said
is
Johnson.
Gus Johnson.
Yeah, I was thinking of Deontay Johnson. But
Gus Johnson's like the radio announcer.
Gus Edwards Johnson. It's a hyphenated new name, hyphenated name. We should just call him the dump truck because he is so slow. I watched that early game because I had both Derrick Henry and Hill for Baltimore going. Justice Hill going on both sides. And it's always fun when you got...
Hey, can you pause for a second?
Yeah.
Did you not do your encyclopedia work before you got here?
What encyclopedia work?
All your work for knowing what's going on and people's names, bro. Nikki called us out last week for not knowing that Tyrod had a cup of tea with the Browns.
Not Tyrod. See? You're wrong.
Yeah, see?
Dobbs.
Fuck all you.
Yeah.
So
Not Romeo.
Romeo.
Not Romeo Dobbs.
No, sorry.
Joshua. Anyways, so, names come and go. Who cares? You guys all know who I'm talking about, and our viewers probably do as well. Point is I had Justice Hill going against Derrick Henry, and I was excited. It's, 7:30 for us here in the mountains. So, drinking my coffee, playing with the puppy. The puppy's going fucking berserk, so I'm just, trying to keep my cool, and I'm watching this game. And Gus Edwards is getting carry after carry after carry after carry. I think he had one good carry for 10 yards. Otherwise, he had like 18 carries for 50 yards. It was the most disgusting display in the red zone. No Justice Hill to be found. I even stood up at one point. Must have been 8:30 in the morning, and I yelled to the TV because everyone in the house is asleep but me and the puppy. And I'm like, is this motherfucker hurt? Like, why is he not in the game? And then he comes in, and he's more explosive. Every time he touches the ball, good things happen. Now, I'm not sitting here promoting Justice Hill, but when you compare the two, Gus Edwards-Johnson versus Justice Hill, it's not even close. And I understand Gus is much bigger, but he's freaking terrible. Terrible. And he just kept getting carry after carry after carry after carry, red zone touch. It was just, oh, man, it pissed me off. It pissed me off. I thought, here we go. You know, I'm 0-5. This is how it's going to go. And then Derrick Henry breaks a 62-yarder. And I'm like, all right, okay. And then he punched it in from 15. I'm like, okay, now I feel a little better. But fuck the Baltimore Ravens. I don't know what they see in Gus Edwards-Johnson. He's just terrible. So that was one little rant just about that. How'd everyone's week go? You guys were at a show, weren't you?
Yeah.
Where were you?
Started down in the Springs.
Springs, how'd it go?
Yeah, it was all right. Good crowd. Dave had to bounce early.
It's typically a little bit more busier than it's been for the shows for the past 4 weeks or so. Usually it's a little bit more crowded than it has been, but positive show. Beautiful weather outside, and I think that was a reason why everybody. And the college football too season. It's kind of maybe, takes away from a little bit of the show attendance.
But didn't they play on Friday night?
We'll see.
Yeah.
There's other schools too.
Are there? I didn't know.
Well, UNC.
No, I heard School of Mines is like ranked number 2.
Number 1.
Oh, now they're number 1?
Now number 1.
Okay. Excellent. Good for them.
Air Force is ranked number 22
Okay.
from the Springs.
Yeah. Okay, so there's some good football.
Thank God there wasn't a game there. Traffic would have sucked.
Yeah.
Have you got caught in one of those Air Force games?
No.
Oh.
There's only 2 ways out of there, right? North and south?
Yes.
Well, I don't think so. I think
Once you hit 25.
I think there's like highway. There was a train derailment.
In Pueblo.
In Pueblo.
Pueblo.
Yeah, the coal.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think there was like a highway 31 or somewhere where there were, detouring drivers to.
That's still closed.
Is it?
Yeah.
25
As
now
of
now?
this morning, it's still closed.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it was an overpass right over the highway. And there was... Yeah. It's a mess, dude. It's a mess. So, and it's a fatality because the truck driver was killed in that accident. So they had to shut it down. There's, they have to do their investigative reporting.
Did the truck driver have an accident that caused the train derailment, or the train derailment happened which caused the accident for the driver?
Yes.
It's been determined that it was a faulty track going just before the overpass, the bridge. And so, of course, those trains are moving pretty fast, and they got heavy-ass loads.
Coal. It was all but coal.
Mm-hmm. And, dude, there's just
David Cole.
train parts all over the highway, and you don't even see a truck. Dude, that's just shitty timing, It's just shitty timing. So, anyhow, well, I'm glad you guys had a good weekend. Yeah, let's get into some fantasy football. I mean, this league, we all enjoy this league because there's a lot of banter, there's a lot of activity. I feel like for some reason this year, it has a different feeling. What do you think, John?
It doesn't feel like everybody's invested like normal.
Now, is it because one of our GMs is in a different country?
Actually, oddly enough, he seems to be more responsive and involved in it than a lot of people
I would agree.
in the league otherwise.
I would agree. Dave, what are your thoughts? How do you feel? Because you don't do deals, but at least...
Well, I've done a couple this year, Biz, I My feel is just everybody has their own lives. I mean we all get busy at sometimes. Sometimes we get busy, and sometimes when we have extra time, we're able to hopefully look at our fantasy teams.
So we're 6 weeks down, going into week 7. Tomorrow night kicks off Thursday Night Football, week 7. There's one team in our league that hasn't done a single trade all year.
Wow.
There's another team that's only done one trade. Then there's a third team that's done 2 trades that are both 1-for-1 deals. And those deals happened weeks ago. So you go into this league, and those 3 GMs that I'm talking about, RJ has not done a deal. Ricky has done 1 deal, and Jeff did 2 1-for-1 deals with me early in the season.
Yeah, one was in between the draft and the start of the season.
Before
wasn't
the
it?
season started, correct.
Yeah.
It was before Sunday, of that week. Then the reason why I bring this up is those are 3 veteran GMs in this league. I think Carl's only done 1 deal, maybe 2. I have to look it back. I can't even remember people's
You
names.
want to bring it up?
Yeah, bring it up. Take a look.
Yeah,
But my point is these are now 4 GMs. And so most likely Kyron's going to be out until week 11.
Right.
And then, wait, am I wrong?
I think he's out to week 10.
Week 10, yeah, okay. And then, obviously, Achan is out until, like, week 11. So, those are 2 deals that he did that hurt him. But if he can, he's 4-2 right now. If he can weather the storm, get through the next couple weeks, even if he's, 5-4 going into week 10, or ends up 5-5 after week 10, and you get those two guys back, you got to feel good. Your chances of making the playoffs with 4 weeks left.
Yeah, agreed.
The problem is he has no quarterback.
Who, Phil?
Yeah.
He's got 4 of them. What do you mean he doesn't have a quarterback?
Well, he's banking on Kyler coming back. His other quarterbacks suck. And I know what shitty quarterbacks are about this year.
What was the big news with Kyler Murray today, Biz? Did
So-
you catch that?
He's been activated off of IR, which opens his 20, or at least they activated his 21-day window. So he practiced limited today. Kyler. So
how does that sit with you for Phil's team?
there's talk that Kyler could come back as soon as next week and play.
Whoa.
Does that change things for you with Phil?
No. I got to see it with Kyler first. That's an ACL injury for a quarterback that likes to run and certainly has to move to create plays. You know,
Kyler hasn't been the same since he got injured on that Monday night against the 49ers a couple
2 years ago.
Yeah. He
I
hasn't
agree.
been the same since.
I agree. He wasn't great last year. What made up for it was his running ability. You take that away or at least diminish that ability, and Kyler's an average quarterback. Top 15 maybe, but I don't look at him as a QB1. Again, prove it. I got to see it first before I believe it. Now, I have Mike Wilson, so yeah, of course, I'd rather have Kyler back there than Dobbs, but we'll see. I don't know. My point in bringing all this up is, like, this is supposed to be a fun league, and, you know, I feel like I go through this every year on this damn podcast, where there's a point in the season where I'm like, what the fuck is going on with the league? Like, there's a lull. And you're right. Everyone's got lives. People have kids. They've got events, sporting events, school, all that stuff going on. I get it.
That shit never
I get
mattered
it.
before.
But it takes 30 seconds, maybe less, to respond to a fucking text message. There's a few people in this league that I've sent trades to and said kind of like my mentality behind the offer, or even just said sent you a deal, and all I get is a declined offer.
That has happened way
There's
too
no
much for
counter.
this league.
There's no communication like, yo, you're way off. Okay, tell me that. I don't know what you're thinking because you won't fucking speak. Now, for a couple GMs, I thought it was just me. Maybe they just weren't dealing with me. Then I started talking to other GMs in the league. And they're like, no, that dude's doing the same shit with me too. And I'm like, wake up. Wake up. To me, now I look at it as a sign of disrespect. Like, you can't send me a text back when I reach out to you and text you. It's like any one of my friends, if I reach out to you and I'm like, hey, man, what's up? Hope all is well. Let's connect soon. And I don't get a response, I feel disrespected. Like, are you locked up in jail?
Let me ask
Are
you a
you
question.
dead?
Let me
No.
ask you a question. You said that RJ felt disrespected by the podcast. Has he planted, and I'm not trying to say he's a mastermind or anything, but has he planted seeds about, like, fuck those guys and just don't deal with them? And I don't know. It feels that way because, again, the fucking people that aren't responding are that close inner circle, it seems.
You're absolutely right. I mean, again, I don't like to assume or insinuate anything, but you make a valid point. It seems like Norm, for one, which Norm and RJ are, best friends.
Oh, yeah.
Even Norm won't respond this year. I'll send him a message about what I'm thinking in a deal, and then he'll just counter it, and I'm like, that's not really. And then I'll send another text like, yo, dude, I don't want that guy, or this guy fits better. And then crickets. And Norm usually, with me is like, boom, boom, boom. Like, yo, Biz, I'm thinking this, I'm thinking that, before an offer is even out there.
Right.
It's not like that this year.
I know a lot, like we talked about, a lot of people have lives. I understand.
Sure.
Even if you get a text during work, Dave, you included in this shit. I get it. But, at some point, you've got 5 minutes while you're taking a shit to sit there, look at your phone.
And for some of these guys, it's their only league. They don't have other leagues going on.
I mean, up until very recently, I've wanted this to be my only league, but this league also gave me a lot of, I guess, dopamine hits with all the fucking trade action and, things that were going on. And, again, the open kind of communication that seems to have gone by the wayside here.
Like, and to bring up your point, Dave, about everyone having lives, like, we do this as a hobby, this podcast. We take time out of our personal lives.
That kills me.
And people think we just show up and rant and rave and record. That's not it. I was telling you earlier today, like, I do research for the podcast, not only in our league, but I make it a point to watch every fucking game I can. Now, I don't get to every game, but, there's, as you guys know, like, I work hybrid. So some days I'm home, other days I'm on the road, some days it's split. But when I'm home and I've got my computer, I'll have NFL Network on in the middle of the day because they throw games on from the previous Sunday. And I'll be like, oh, I didn't see that game. Boom. It's on in the background. Am I watching every play? Of course not. But, that's my background material. I'll be jamming music maybe, and I got my computer going. I'm on my phone.
Right.
I'm busy. I'm multitasking. It's like we have lives, Like, I know you have a side hustle. I know that's your full-time hustle. But you got other shit going on. You run trade shows.
And I mean, 3 years ago was completely different for me. I ain't had shit to do.
Yeah.
I sat around here with my thumb up my ass most of the time. You know what I'm saying? But
same here.
now it's a completely different story. So, I mean,
like
3 years ago, it wasn't really much of shit for me to take a little bit of time out and do the podcast and fucking.
Right now, we're doing the podcast. It's 7:39 on a Wednesday night. I'm still on call for another 50 minutes. Something could come up at work in the next hour. Doesn't always happen, but I told you guys before we started recording, last night at 7:30, I got a phone call and one of my trucks was in an accident. So it's like 7:30 at night, I'm trying to chill out. I got the baseball game on, cooking dinner with the lady, and I get a phone call, and the next 45 minutes of my life is derailed, no pun intended, that's a poor joke, but derailed and focused on something else. That could happen right now, and I would have to leave the podcast. Thankfully, it hasn't on a Wednesday, but my point is like, you have better things to be doing with your time. You certainly have better things to be doing with your time. I value my time. I'm up at 4:45 every morning. I don't need to fucking be here doing this. I love doing this. But like, don't criticize us and then, act the way you guys are acting. It's just, to me, it's poor taste. And if you got something to say, fucking say it. We're all grown men here. I'm not going to take offense to it. Y'all have your own opinions. It's just like, I feel like people just, I don't know, like it's becoming a mockery, to be completely honest with you. This league is so much fun. And what started the league is friendships. We've all grown apart a bit because of geography and because of kids and because of professions and because, Busy had a midlife crisis at 35. But all of that, like, doesn't, like, this is what keeps us together the most, is this league. And I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're wrong. I don't know. But from our perspective, that's how it feels. Because John and I talk multiple times a week. Dave and I talk multiple times a week, specifically about this league. McKeever and I, we talk all the time about all kinds of shit. But the majority of the shit we talk about right now is this league. It's like everyone has, Rich and I. That's what's keeping Rich going right now, is the league. And keeping it light for him.
I agree 100%.
And it's frustrating when certain people are trying. I don't know. I don't want to say they're trying anything. Again, this could just be a complete overblown reaction because of our perception being out here in Colorado, and we're not a part of those sidebar conversations. But it's like, prove me otherwise then. When I offer you a deal, don't just decline it. Like,
at least
me and RJ haven't done a deal in years. And it's not from lack of trying on my end. And maybe I'm completely off in the offers that I'm throwing him in his mind. That's fine. We're not supposed to always meet eye to eye, but we will never fucking get there without communication.
For sure.
I have no idea what's going on inside his head. I have no idea how he values his players. I have zero, none, because that's the communication I've had with him.
I had a deal that was kind of close last week that the difference in the yes or no in a deal came down to the value between my number 5 and my number 6 running backs. They wanted my number 5. I offered my number 6. And it was like you said, it wasn't even it was just a decline. Not even a text back like, I fucking hate that guy. It has to be the first guy. Just fucking decline. And we're talking about the difference between Jaylen Warren and fucking Kenny Gainwell. Like, that can't even get done.
Right.
You can't talk that out.
Or
you might even be able to finesse me into Warren. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah. Or, show some sales ability. Sell us on why we should, not why we shouldn't. The other option...
That was one of the things that I loved about this league coming in, is that you were able to have those discussions and try to fucking sway people a little bit in your direction.
Yeah.
And,
it's fucking dead right now.
It is dead.
It's dead. There's, like, if you're not in the mood, like, if you are happy with your roster, that's okay. Say it. Say it. I mean, my mentality and how I respect everyone in the league is that they're always looking to improve their team.
Yeah, I mean...
And that's what I love about the league.
Look at the year that Norm had his year, the super year.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he kept moving and making just as many deals as he would typically have done, on pace for like 40, 50, 60 deals in a season, right? But just that year, every fucking deal he made worked out.
Yeah.
There was a point, I was telling Dave, he wasn't in the league at that point. There was a point in time where Norm's bench could have competed with most of the teams in the league.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And, hey, it happens like that, but he never stopped trying to improve his team, no matter how fucking good it got.
Yeah. I don't know.
I hated
I'm not
it.
on the
it
East
was
Coast.
fucking. It was annoying.
It was
as
every
fuck.
deal he hit. He
It
hit on almost every deal.
And that was the Ace and Gary year, and it was annoying as fuck. But you know what? That was fucking fun.
And Carl made a couple key timely deals. Certainly, he didn't do as many deals as Norm, but he rode Pat Mahomes, which was the best draft pick that year.
And that was
value.
the year I traded him Tyreek Hill and the Manny Sanders rule.
Yeah.
Kind of thing in my head.
Yeah, but he made a couple timely deals, and that's the thing about doing deals. It's all about timing. It really is, because now we're in through 6 weeks. We have, and we're in the bye weeks. We have a good idea of how certain teams look. Now things are going to change as teams hit the bye week, as more injuries occur. Certain maybe younger guys that aren't getting a lot of targets or carries right now, blow up and they take more lead, more control and get more volume. But that's the fun part about fantasy, man. Drafting a team and they're just sitting is so fucking boring to me. It's so boring. Like, I don't even want to win that way. I'll be honest with you. I really don't. Yeah, of course I want to win, but I would never want to win that way.
I remember you telling me when you brought me up as a prospective player in this league. They were like, yo, does he move? Does he know his players? Does he know, It seems like that shit doesn't matter at all anymore.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, we're averaging 3.5 trades a week as a league right now. There was a time that was a Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah. Guys would get a guy in a deal and flip him within minutes. I'd be working with you, and then behind the scenes, I'd be working with him. If I get this guy, will you take? Yeah, okay. So I've already got that deal kind of laid out. Get that deal done with you, and then boom, flip that guy to you. Boom, just like that. Now we have the opportunity to do 3-way deals. I don't see a 3-teamer getting done at all. It's barely can you get 3 guys in a fucking group chat to respond. It's
yeah.
And hey, it is what it is. I just wanted to voice my opinion. I think, John, you agree to most of what I said. Not that what we say is going to change anything. It's just
no, I get it. It's just a little frustration because
But we have the platform to do it.
And we look forward to this shit all year because of the communication, because of the banter, the locker room feel. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
And camaraderie.
And here's the thing. Everybody in the league knows I'm outspoken. I say stuff off the cuff. So a lot of times, a lot of people just allow it to fall on deaf ears. If anything we said tonight, you take personally, that's on you, not on us. Because we're just giving you our perspective in this league. And it's supposed to be fun. At the end of the day, we're all friends. We all have different opinions. I do respect everyone's opinion. But it doesn't mean I can't call you out either. And if you want to voice your opinion, you have a platform here too. So you're welcome to join us at any time, which the door is always open to the rest of the league.
So I just wanted to recap for my McKeever, Ricky, and RJ.
And Carl. Carl's done one deal.
Okay, so this doesn't fit my narrative. Okay.
Okay, but go ahead.
Those three have done the same fucking number of deals as Phil.
Yeah.
Phil's on his average of like 4 a year.
How many deals has Phil made?
3.
Three. Including a pre-draft.
And that does include the pre-draft, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, literally, they can't get more active than Phil's average? That seems weird. I remember RJ on this podcast saying, oh, man, it doesn't matter what a season throws at me. I know I can trade my way out of anything. You remember that? It was like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
I'll trade my way out of anything. Okay.
Yeah, I just look for communication. McKeever and I every week we throw stuff at each other. Not to defend him, but we throw stuff at each other. So I have a strong idea of where he's coming from, what his mentality is, what he's trying to do with his team. He's very open and honest with me about that. Yo, Biz, that's not going to work for me. Okay, scrap it. I'm not going down that road again, at least. I know that's off the table. You spilled a little bit. You need a little more? I think you do.
I think it does. Here you go.
Yeah. Dave put that first glass down. There's ice if you need another piece of ice. So, with that all being said, why don't we do this? Why don't we transition into the Week 6 recap? How's that sound? Does that work for you?
Yeah, I guess.
All right. Well,
minimal effort.
I got a lot to say, as everyone knows. Bing Bong is on the board, fellas.
Bing Bong.
Bing Bong is on the board. This will not be an 0-14 season. That's all I got to say. I could be 1-13, and I will smile and sleep like a baby. I got the one. That's all that matters. I got the one.
And was it a little sweeter because you beat your cousin?
Oh, yeah. Always. Always. When you beat G.I. Joe. You just...
G.I. Joe.
He even texted me Sunday morning during the early game. He's like, bro, I've worked like 16 hours straight. I don't even know what's going on. He's like, I completely forgot there was a London game. I don't know. He's like, you're probably kicking my ass, but don't tell me. And then 5 minutes later, he's like, yep, I knew it. It's just like, man, he's like, because we all have that one guy in the league, right?
Yeah.
Mine is Nick. For whatever reason, Nick owns my team in the regular season. For you, it's Ricky.
Yeah.
And then for Rich, it's me, I guess. Like, doesn't matter what our records are. Every year I beat Rich. Last year I beat him twice because we were in the same division. And if I recall, one of them was not close, where I doubled up on him. It was like 180 to 90.
This rivalry goes back to being wee little lads too, right?
Oh, yeah. There's always a little extra something. This year, it feels a little different.
Sure.
It does.
Sure.
And in a way, like if I was 4-1, I could go to 4-2 and feel better about myself.
but not
at 0-5.
Going
0-5. I needed this one. Yeah. I needed this one for
must win.
So I didn't kick the puppy. I didn't beat my girlfriend.
You didn't slam the doors.
No. And honestly, I don't. I get fired up. I take a walk. I take that energy out of the house. But this year I haven't even gotten to that point. But this week I really wanted it.
Hell yeah.
Really wanted
Hell
it.
yeah.
Not because I was playing rich, but because I wanted that 1 next to my name. So Bing Bong moves up to 1-5, 141.26 to 97.9. out of both.
Oh, I just want to say good match, Ricky. I forgot my chance to text you on Monday night, but I just wanted to say good match right here. I'm making it up right here. So,
Yeah. And he started the week with 29 points out of Kansas City, and you had Pacheco on that Thursday night game who had 12.8. We watched that game together.
yeah.
You know,
Yep.
yeah, that was a tough start for you, being a Broncos fan.
Well, in that Lamar the other tough start added on to that start, Biz, was that at Tennessee game, that Buffalo at Tennessee game in the morning, where I don't know, for some reason, John Harbaugh had in the red zone. They had a couple of red zone drives. Like
Stall.
no, not even that. It was beyond. No Mark Andrews on the field. It was driving me crazy. Why isn't Mark Andrews on this, this red zone drive, from like the 10 yards in? Mark Andrews was off the field completely.
Yeah.
It's so baffling. And then
that-
Zay Flowers scored a touchdown, and that was like, oh, shoot.
That,
This is
ladies
going
and
to
gentlemen,
be tough.
6 field goals, too. They got They got stalemated down there at the goal line a few times.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why you do not draft a tight end in the third fucking round.
Or trade for him with a lot of capital.
Like me.
Like Dave.
Like Dave.
I was going to leave that alone, Dave, just so you know.
I wasn't. So, Dave, here's my question. Will you please, for the love of God, trade me Drake London? Drake London could not be higher than he is
Drake
right
London?
now.
What are you offering for Drake
He is at
London?
an all-time high now. For
you let me
sure.
know. Let me
I
know.
mean,
What does your
Drake-
team need, Dave?
Drake London.
Let's talk. Let's talk this out right now.
You got Mostert and Diggs in your flex. You're pretty stacked. You got Brian Robinson, who's fallen apart. He sucks. He's not what he was a few weeks ago. You missed the boat on him.
Dave, show these fools in the league how to communicate through a trade.
Mostert is a ticking time bomb. We've been talking about this all year. Jeff Wilson is officially back this week. I mean, Drake London, he had his best game. He had 22 points, 9 for 125. He has 2 touchdowns on the year, which has really saved 2 of his weeks. He had 6 for 67 with a touch. That would have been a 9-point week. Then he backed that up with a 4-point week. Then he had 3 for 28 with a touchdown, giving him 10 points, which that would have been a 4-point week. Then the last 2 weeks, 6 for 78, 9 for 125. Still ranked number 33 wide receiver. So he's clear-cut wide receiver 3 as of today.
Oh, what's your offer, Biz?
Well, I just asked, what does your team need?
I need another wide receiver. Like, I'm looking
You
to
need
upgrade.
depth.
I need an upgrade.
You need an upgrade.
What would it take to get Garrett Wilson?
Dude, I tried to offer you that as the base last week.
No. I'm talking right now, dude. What, like, what do you want with him? Right now.
What's he got to throw in, man, to get to Garrett Wilson?
Let me look at your team. Because
I don't think you're going to like the answer here, Dave.
Oh no! Don't say Gardner Minshew.
I want Mostert for Derrick Henry.
Hell no.
Look at what Derrick Henry's done the last couple weeks.
Yeah, but look at Mostert's done for the last 2 weeks too.
But
There's no way.
I'm just saying, one's on the
Damn, he got the fat cheek jiggle on that shit.
one's on the uptick, and Mostert can't be better than he is right now. Like, he is maxed out.
I'm gonna have to dream about this to
That's
give you
fine.
an answer.
But just think of those names real quick. You're getting Derrick Henry and Garrett
Well, I
Wilson
will. I'll sleep on
for
it.
Raheem Mostert and Drake London.
I'm gonna have to have breakfast.
Just
in
think.
bed.
Just think of those names.
I mean, Zach Wilson's pretty much as bad as Desmond Ritter.
That's bad.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's a lateral move. You're not like giving much up. I actually don't see much difference in value between Drake London and Garrett Wilson right now. Like,
Personally, I got Garrett Wilson definitely higher.
yeah, personally, Dave's got Drake London higher. I'd bet $100 on it.
No,
Drake London higher than Zach Wilson?
Garrett Wilson.
No, Garrett
okay,
Wilson.
Garrett Wilson is ranked 21. Drake London is ranked 33. They've played the same amount of games, and they both have a really shitty
Yeah, that's what
quarterback.
I'm asking. Like, what would
Yeah.
you want with Drake London for Garrett Wilson?
And that's why I said I think I could still kick you a little something back if you want to do a Mostert for
No,
Derrick Henry.
Garrett Wilson for Drake London,
Right.
like
And
to the original deal.
yeah,
That's what he's,
That's
he's
what I'm
talking
saying.
about adding. What,
And
Oh
then
no!
The second
no.
part,
see, what Dave wants you to do is take that extra piece as the little shitty thing on the bottom of his bench. Like throw in whatever's down there. He's not talking about working a deal where you trade actual assets back and forth. He even gave the finger wag to YouTube.
yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
Like when he says, "What else is it going to take?" That's what he's. I understand what you're doing. You're trying to say, "Hey, there's a value difference here between Henry and fucking."
I'm giving you an edge with Raheem Mostert for Derrick Henry. There's no question about it. You're giving me the edge with Garrett Wilson for Drake London, which isn't as big, perhaps, as Mostert for Derrick Henry. And that's why I was saying I would then throw you another piece in the deal.
I'm gonna hold on to the Raheem the Dream right now. For
Okay,
right now,
so let's
the
find-
The dream stays alive.
So you want to find
this is
another
the second
piece.
week in a row you've reneged on the
Fin up.
trading back for Kyle.
Well, I don't
Pitts.
have much to root for here, but right now I'm like kind of caught on to the Miami Storm,
Raheem,
the Hurricane.
Raheem the Dream. Do you think this dude's going to trade Raheem Mostert?
No.
Do you hear what he's saying out
Well,
loud?
how do you know? Did you throw me an offer for Raheem yet?
I did. Kyle Pitts several times.
I mentioned Raheem.
How about Pacheco?
For who? No way, not for Derrick Henry. No
Did
way.
you hear how angry he sounded?
No, Pacheco, I'm pretty happy with.
For who?
Pacheco is ranked 14th.
Check is on my. Yeah, dude. He's going to be hard to move right now.
Henry is 11. I wouldn't even trade Derrick Henry for Pacheco myself. Henry's number 11 ranked. Pacheco's 14 right now, today.
I'm going to have to think about it.
No, I wouldn't do that. That's what I'm telling you.
I really don't want Henry.
I can
don't
trade
want Henry.
you
I want Jacobs.
for Mostert.
Mostert and what's that other one?
Drake
Garrett
London.
Wilson.
Drake London.
And I'll give you Drake London.
Yeah, you give me Mostert and Drake London for Garrett Wilson and Josh Jacobs. Ooh.
Let's do it.
Wow. He would do that deal?
He just said, "Let's do it."
I have to look at that.
The fact that he dove straight into those waters.
Yeah, I know.
You might need to lower your speed.
Huh?
Hold on, I gotta look at Dave's roster too.
Yeah. That's close.
We'll get back to you after these brief messages.
I guess I should show it to everybody, huh?
Mecole was traded from the Jets to Kansas City, back to Kansas City for late round draft pick swap.
McKeever loves wide receivers.
Yep. Rich then picked up a kicker. Rich then picked up Rondale Moore, dropped Melvin Gordon finally.
I like Rondell Moore.
Yeah, I do too. I'm saying drop Melvin Gordon finally. So,
Dave?
Yo. What's up?
I don't know. I thought you had something to add.
oh, game date 7 made a
Oh
roster
shit!
move.
I didn't mean to drop Josh Downs. Oh fuck! I meant to drop what's his name? Jalen Reed. Oh shoot!
Let me see if I can edit it. I don't know if I can, Dave.
Uh-oh.
I should be able to, right?
Hey, Dave.
Yo.
I like Jaden Reed.
Yeah, I was gonna drop Jaden Reed for
Wait,
Ahmed.
listen, trade me Jaden Reed for Julio Jones and drop Julio Jones. Is that collusion?
Yes.
Is it really?
No collusion.
Okay, so he just said it's not collusion. Trade me Julio Jones for Jaden Reed. And then drop Julio. It's no different for you.
Oh, this is week 6.
Yeah?
What?
You're going to drop Jaden Reed.
Yeah, I was gonna drop him for Ahmed. Yeah, okay, yeah, I was gonna drop Jaden Reed.
So trade me Julio for Jaden Reed and just drop Julio.
Dude, I don't know where I can override the lineup. Hold on. I can edit matchups, roster settings.
Ooh. My man had his hands together praying. You better fix Josh Downs.
I'm seriously looking here. There's league settings, team settings, bing bong, and then
No roster settings anywhere or something like that?
yeah, there's roster settings, but that's just the number of roster settings. And then commissioner control. I can edit lineups, but I can't. Hold on. So week 7.
Ugh.
Hold on. Game date 7. All I can do is like.
I'm not going to pick on you, Dave. I accepted a trade from Jeff McKeever one time by accident.
So like I just moved Reed into wide receiver and moved London out. There's got to be a way that I can edit. It just says pin or reply. When I go to the... And I can click on the player. And I can add Josh Downs right now.
Thank
To
you.
his roster?
No. You're going to have to do it. Add him back right now.
I don't know if it's gonna.
It says Chief Biz used commissioner powers to fix the roster.
Yeah. So what I did, all I
love it.
All I did was edit his roster to show that I could do it. But
Please don't drop Jaden Reed. Trade him to me for Julio.
It's asking me for a make waiver bid.
0.
Wait,
Zero.
really?
Yeah,
Because
and that's for Thursday.
Ooh.
let me see.
Let me
'Cause
see. I'll
for
just
me,
put
it's-
0. I'll put 0, and then I'll.
Well,
see.
no, for Thursday, for me, it's saying add player.
Okay, let me drop a player then.
What? No. Trade me in.
Well, who are you going to drop?
Jaden Reed.
Because I have DJ Shark. DJ Shark is better than Jaden Reed.
All right, it just let me
Don't
just make a. I think it just let me just
Trying
make
to
a
slide in on
claim.
me and then ask me if I agree.
It says Thursday I can make a bid on him or a claim.
Yeah, he's on waivers. Josh Downs. It wouldn't let me do it. Let me see. Hold on. I'm going to try to fix it, Dave.
Before you make any more decisions, breathe. Everything's okay.
Yeah, it's just Josh Downs, dude. It's not the end of the world.
It's not like it's Lamar. All right.
Dude, yeah, there's a lot
Right.
worse people on your roster it could have been for sure.
Oh boy.
Yeah. There's got to be a way that they would let me redo a transaction, no? Because on the website, it's not letting me do it. Let me see. There's standard.
Enthralling radio. Love this.
Yeah, sorry. We'll have to look afterwards, Dave. I'm sorry, man.
It's all good. If we need to keep the podcast.
Yeah. All right.
Before-
Well, let's roll into week 7. All right, boys. Let's do that. Sound good? Cool.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Cool.
Week 7, we got Bing Bong against Chiefs Kingdom. Bing Bong is now 1-5.
Ignore that until we take care of the other thing.
All right.
Yeah. We'll get into it. It's Josh Downs. It's not the end of the world. He was a throw-in in a deal we were just talking about. All right. So as it stands right
Not
now,
anymore.
Ahmed's the throw-in. Deshaun Watson against Pat Mahomes. Certainly that's an edge. Pat Mahomes playing against the Chargers. If Deshaun doesn't play, my other option is Sam Howell at the Giants. Doesn't change much. Running backs, I've got Derrick Henry on a bye, so I've got Javonte Williams against Green Bay. Josh Jacobs at Chicago. Juicy matchup. He's got Kamara and McKinnon. I would say that's an edge for me this week. Thoughts? Are you looking at this?
Yeah, that I think I like Jacobs a little bit more than the others. I mean,
Yeah.
Jacobs' advantage for sure versus the Bears.
For sure.
Especially McKinnon there, man.
So
Yeah,
then
what happened to McKinnon, John?
What?
What's happened to McKinnon? I mean, hasn't-
Pacheco.
Oh, it's been all Pacheco. Well, McKinnon's in there sometimes, but he
Bro,
isn't
Pacheco
like,
caught no fucking passes last year. Go back and look at he caught nothing out of the backfield.
And this year he has.
A ton out of the backfield, especially comparatively.
Okay. Next, we have Olave Thursday night, tomorrow night against Jacksonville, home against Jacksonville. Pittman versus Cleveland, which is not a good matchup. And then Curtis Samuel at the Giants versus Hollywood Brown at Seattle. Calvin Ridley tomorrow night at New Orleans. And Josh Reynolds at Baltimore.
Is there a Ridley breakout game this week?
Oh, that was 2 weeks ago.
Well,
Let's
another
hope-
one.
let's hope
this
it's-
week.
Well, if Trevor Lawrence doesn't play, then I don't see it happening. So, edge, wide receivers. Then I have Sam Laporta to Travis Kelce. So you got Kelce and mini Kelce, as Nick puts it, and Sam Laporta. But obviously, edge Kelce. I haven't decided on my flexes yet. He's starting Jeff Wilson. And, of course, he's going to have a sub because he's got Tyler Boyd in there. So flexes are a push right now. And as it stands, I've got the Rams D versus Pitt. And he's got Atlanta versus Tampa. Now, who would you guys prefer, the Rams D versus Pitt, or Pitt's D versus
That's the big thing is if CMC plays, RJ can walk away with the win. But if not, then it's all Norm.
The one thing we didn't do is we didn't do standings. Just go. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, you're just like, whatever. So I think the moral of the story of this show is to communicate. And
God damn it, Dave almost got a deal done.
we're getting there.
You got to figure out how to get Josh Downs back on his roster.
Yeah, I'm going to look into that as soon as we sign off here. But,
Thanks, Biz.
every team that's above 500, fuck you. You have injuries coming. Carl's got an A.J. Brown injury coming. I didn't call it out when we were talking about his team.
Okay.
But he's due.
Yo, that's so you're telling me soon we're gonna have AJ Brown and Devonta Smith a little bit back.
Yeah. Devonta kind of just happened on his own with his hammy. He's probably going to re-aggravate it this weekend.
Me and Julio down by the schoolyard.
Because again, that's a Sunday night game. It's going to be cold. That's usually when you can aggravate something like that. You can't get loose.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. And AJ, it's not going to be a season ender. It's just going to be a concussion type deal.
Ooh,
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah, he'll definitely be in the protocol and he'll miss a week. Yep.
All right, Dave.
Yo.
What you got for us heading out the door, my man?
All right. Yeah. Health. I thought you wanted me to tell the standings, but that's okay. But we don't have to do that.
We're not gonna do that right now.
All right.
If that's what you want to talk about, bro, do it. You got the mic.
So the reason why I don't want to trade for Mostert is because I'm predicting a Mostert injury this week.
Oh,
But I'm 3-3, so I get the pass.
It doesn't.
y'all.
No, there's no
You
pass.
I get
Pass.
3-3.
What do you mean
There's-
pass? I
there's
didn't
no
get a
pass.
pass at 2 and 3.
There's no pass. It's something about that Miami backfield. You had Jeff Wilson earlier in the year. Then you had Devon Achane. Now you're gonna have Raheem Mostert. It's his turn, and he's due.
All I gotta say is
San Francisco
like
49ers, man. Did the
like-
49ers running backs ever make it through the year healthy?
I just have a feel. Well,
It's the
That's
same
why I don't want to trade
offense.
for Mostert.
so
right
if I have anything to say about like a last line or whatever, that I think I have a feeling that Jacksonville is gonna win tomorrow. I don't know. I think it could be a good game for Jacksonville tomorrow, and they're gonna win the game.
If
over
Trevor
New
Lawrence
Orleans.
plays,
If Trevor Lawrence shows up, they're gonna cash out for sure.
okay,
All right,
fair enough.
interesting.
I disagree. I think New Orleans is going to win this game, and I think their offense is going to come alive tomorrow.
Okay, all right,
Frankenstein.
Home in the dome.
It's alive.
that's fair.
Yep, I think Derek Carr is finally healthy from that shoulder injury, and I think they're going to air it out, and I think they're going to hit on a deep ball to my man Olave.
What about Rashid?
Shaheed.
No,
Shaheed.
no.
Boogadooga.
Tomorrow's Olave's night on a deep ball.
How many receptions is Kamara gonna get?
3.
7.
8.
Whoa.
Check down
He's
Central.
got 23. He's like fourth in the league.
That's why Josh
already
Jacobs had so
for running back receptions.
And he missed the first 3 weeks, half
Yeah.
the season at this point.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, Derek Carr, he was hurt, man, and he didn't want to take any more hits, so he just checked it down.
John, do you know
Guys
who
are running
leads-
open.
You know which running back leads the league in receptions?
Who?
Bijan with 27.
Well, look at that. Fuck him. Biz, anything out the door?
Nah, I think I've said a lot tonight. Let it digest. And again, I think my final words is if you took anything that we said or I said personally, that's on you. Because this is a fun podcast. It's meant to be fun. Fantasy is just what it says. It's fantasy
Let
football.
us entertain you.
Yeah, have some fun. And
Give
if
us
you want,
something to entertain
if you want to take
with.
some shots, you know where we're at. You know,
Dave
come on the
taking mad
podcast
shots
anytime.
tonight.
Dave's on one. Dave's gonna need some Burger King on the way home.
No.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Better sop it up, man, with a greasy burger. All right, boys.